Welcome once again to KAFTAN television. It's a beautiful Thursday afternoon this afternoon in the capital city of Nigeria, Abuja. And it's my pleasure to bring to you this program. And my name remains Dayo, Omoogun. I'm excited this afternoon because I know that you are there at the other end and we complement each other to make a winning team. Thank you so very much for staying tuned to KAFTAN television, and thank you for propagating the message that there's no TV station like KAFTANTV. Thank you so very much. And we will be talking as usual about something that's trending and something that affects you and I, something that we all need to lend our own to kobo to, so that we can all have a better nation, so that this nation can give us the very best, even as we give our very best to it. And this afternoon, I'm talking about the tax reform bill. We've gotten to a point where, like they say, it looks as if the passage of that bill has hit the rocks. So we're talking about the tax reform bill Impasse. What next? What should we be doing next? As at yesterday, the Senate has suspended discussions on the bill. And I do know that at the House of Reps, a few days ago, it was like almost fisticuffs that was generated by that same piece of legislative proposal. And so this afternoon, we want to look at it. At this point, what should we be doing? What should Nigeria, what should the proponents of that bill, the executive, what should they be doing right now? What should Nigerians be doing right now? What should stakeholders from every around the subject matter be doing right now? And with me in the studio this afternoon to talk about this is a very articulate, very experienced well known around the Abuja circuit of public analysis, public affairs analysis. His name is Ben Agunloye, and is my guest this afternoon. We'll do this together. Welcome, Ben.
Good afternoon. You're welcome.
Now, quickly, we go into the meat of the matter. Now, in the last few weeks, this tax reform bill thing has generated a lot of brickbats, back and forth, if you like, crisis, controversy, and suddenly it has even hit the wall. Yeah. Now, let me start by asking, on the whole, how do you see the bill? Is it good, bad? What would you say?
Well, clearly I would say that the way forward is not backward. Anything that will take us away from where we used to be should help us on the path of getting to where we want to be. Some of the underlying factors why investors will run away from this environment is multiple taxation. So if you have a bill or a document or a process that will eliminate multiple taxation, I want to believe that it is the right way to go. We also have the issue of fairness. Monkey the work, that bring the show. If there is any law or any procedures that will make our system more transparent and more fair and more judicious, I think that it is welcome. So when you look at the bill on the whole, I think that it is the way to go. However, when we now look at, I think the bill in technical and intellectual balance is beautiful.
All right.
But maybe politically, some individuals felt that their egos have not been massaged.
Now, let me stop you quickly there, since you have mentioned some, politically.
Yeah.
Now, should we, at any point in time, should we ever allow politics trump economics?
Well, the truth is this. By the way our system is structured and by the way our people are, you cannot totally divorce politics from our economy. Now, we are talking about...
You can't do it anywhere in the world. But I'm saying, which one should have the upper hand? Which one should have drive the other?
Well, to a large extent, politics should bring in the laws that would help to drive the economy. However, in the process of law development, now what people should realize is this is not just a creation or a thinking of the president of one man. He set up a committee that have worked assiduously for a period of not less than 7 months to come up with the document. Now, in the process of passage of law, the president think that what my committee has done is good enough. Let's take it to the National Assembly. And I want to see it this way, that those who are saying no, who are asking us why we are in a hurry, we need to be in a hurry. If we have been in a hurry with power in 1999-2000, we should no longer be paying for darkness today. If we have been in a hurry with the Petroleum Industry Act, we should have signed it to law more than 10 years ago, and we would have passed through the teething process. So the best time to enact a law that is forward-looking, that is important to everybody, is now. So those who are challenging, are we in a hurry? No, it's not about whether they are in a hurry or not. What is it that is your contention with it? Bring up your contention. This is my fear. If the fear can be cleared, then we go forward. If we cannot, then they look for how to accommodate you or to expunge that from the bill and go on with the rest.
Very good. You already touched on where I was going to go next. When you talk about fears, concerns, or should we hold on a little? Okay, let's first of all take a look. The features of the bill, some of the provisions being canvassed by the bill. Are you excited about them? You already even referred to multiple taxation. You already referred to one other part of it. Now, so there are several provisions. Which one excites you? Which one do you think are good? And then maybe from that point we begin to ask: are those fears, are those concerns justified? Well, let's start from this first. The features that
that's what I'm saying. When you look at the features, first, of course, you're talking. I think some states went to court last year or thereabout, or maybe in the recent past, challenging VAT.
No, two years ago, Rivers State, when Wike was still governor,
that they want to retain this, they want this, they want that. Now, that is of course because they saw that there is imbalance. However, whatever argument they are making, in my opinion, Port Harcourt Airport is a federal feature, or Neport is a federal feature. They are not owned by the state. Same goes for Apapa and the Murtala Mohammed, or the Aminu Kano, or the Nnamdi Azikiwe. So it means that Kano, Lagos, Rivers, FCT should know that some of these things they are laying claim to, or they had wanted to hold on to at the time, were necessarily not totally valid for them, because the fact that the goods enter through your environment doesn't mean that it is consumed there. So if it is a consumer task, allowing those who bear the municipal challenges of the actual consumers to should get something from it, if you are not giving them even all that is consumed in their land.
Okay, so what you're saying in essence is that those who argue that VAT distribution should be based on where it is consumed,
consumption,
they are correct. That's how it ought to be. All right, let's go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay by that, because if you are looking at production,
yes.
When a company produces in Lagos,
yes,
or in Oyo, or in Rivers, or in Kano, you pay tax based on your gross profit. There is a company income tax already. Income tax is already paid to that state. So the consumption tax
to double counting. If you now also, it will be very unfair. You talked about fairness the other time.
Yeah.
To now also give them a chunk, a bigger chunk of the VAT that comes.
Yeah, that comes from me. Because the payee tax for the staff, okay, in the new law also you are looking at grading payee tax, which I think it's okay. 5,000 naira, that's taking the same percentage from the person that earn 100 naira and somebody that earn 1 million naira. It's not a fair comparison. So grading the payee and possibly even exempting some people, in my opinion, is a fair way to go. It's being fair to all.
Yeah,
it's being fair to all. So the payee structure, I think, is okay. If you think something is wrong with the figure, you can make adjustments, maybe in the percentage, in the graduation, so that you are possibly not going from 10 to 15, maybe from 10 to 12 or 12.5, and then the next level you are having 15, like that. Not the gap shouldn't be 5%. I think the gap shouldn't be too wide.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay.
So that, I think,
that's the progression rate.
Yeah, progression rate should be there, but maybe the gap should be maybe more considerate, and the value of earnings should be well defined. And of course, company tax, I think that the proposal is fair. But in all, like I told you, one of the biggest excitement is the fact that there will no longer be multiple taxation. So that bit of the clause is okay. Some governors may not like it. Why? Because it is their boys that are on the street collecting some of the illegal tax with baton and sticks and ragtag dresses, and could stop you anywhere and ask for anything. And so you are moving produce from Kano to Lagos to Calabar, and then you will discover that in more than 4 or 5 states you are going to be hijacked, and you are going to demand things that you possibly cannot even claim. Some of these transport companies are not fully registered, and they are not big companies. Maybe it's just one individual doing the fraud. So in the end, he adds this all together and build it on the price for the next trip. And once the price changes, the price of the food item will change at the destination. So if you find a means of eliminating those bureaucracies and all those needless delays, then we will realize that businesses will operate better, and people can plan and work within the plans.
So basically, long and short is that you believe that it's a good piece of legislation.
It is.
Right. Now, so some concerns have been raised, particularly by northern governors, in fact, at the very beginning, NEC, National Economic,
where the governors are.
Exactly. They also said it should be thrown out.
Yeah.
Now, National Economic Council, they say it should be thrown out. I think also there was this other, in fact, there was this Northern Pressure Group who in the aftermath had to suspend the person who made that statement. And so on. So now, let's look at those fears. Let's look at those concerns. Are they justified?
Well, for me, anybody demanding to throw out the bill, right, is simply saying we should look backward. And like I insist, the way forward is not backward. If you want investors to come in and stay in the land, if you want even individuals to invest across the nation, you must cut off multiple taxation. So I am sure that Manufacturers Association of Nigeria will not stand up today and tell you that the bill should be thrown overboard. These are important people to us. So everybody who is into investment knows the implication of multiple taxation. Some of those who are opposing the bill are acting based on hearsay. Some of them have not even read the context of the bill. And my proposition will be very straight, which is this bill is here, but there are clauses or things in it we do not understand. So explain this to us. If you cannot convince us why it should be there, then remove it. That solution be for me? That is the forward thinking. That yes, we think you did not do enough engagement, you did not do enough discussion in arriving at some of your positions. So convince us. So at that level, and that's why bills are not just read and passed in the House. You read it the first time, you read it the second time, you submit it to committee, then you can decide to have proper public hearing. Maybe across the geopolitical zones, maybe across the states, across the professional lines. Let's invite them, invite the professional groups, invite labor, invite the private sector at different meetings. And then maybe over a period of 1 month or thereabout, these different meetings would have come up, and you come back to the committee secretariat, and then you amend the clauses as you think it should be. After we should bring it for clause by clause reason and passing. The fact that it has been amended doesn't mean that everything it contains will still pass. Perfect. So I think the process of lawmaking is still there than for people to grandstand and insist we must throw it out. For me, those who are calling for throwing it out are enemies of the future of the nation.
Okay, now let me find out the two most contentious issues so far have to do with whether or not some people say there's haste. You talked about it. There's haste in passing it, and then I think originally it was the fact of whether the point of production and the point of consumption. But I think that there has been some change in that now, and even in the percentages that are to go to the different government levels. And so if that has been achieved, like you said, I mean, that's consensus building. I mean, I don't think anybody, I'm sorry about this, but I don't think anybody rational person would ever say that you should throw the baby and the bathwater away. I don't think it's right. I don't think it makes sense. So I also agree with you that if there are issues that you believe are not well articulated thus far, then please, we can pass these other ones. I agree that these other ones are good, and then let's continue work on this. But to say that it should be thrown out entirely, it's very funny for me. Now, let's now zero in on those contentious areas. Because even here, a week ago or thereabouts, when we still talked about this, I was like, and we were looking at the production angle, and I said, if so many people produce, some people produce, and then you say you want to share according to population. I think the thing was population versus place of production. I said, look, if you have population that is massive but unproductive, how would you now compare that with a smaller populace that is bringing in the gold? So, but I think that all that has even changed now. So why do you think we still have this contention?
No, the thing is that people have taken position without even understanding where the context are.
Exactly.
And so because they have taken position and they don't want to lose face, they want to continue to grandstand. And you talked about massaging of ego. So some felt you should ordinarily have come to us at the and do this and that. But I think that we're talking about policy, we're talking about processes that takes us into the future. For those who think the government is the executive is in a rush, I disagree with them. When you are laying foundation, if you are pouring your concrete and you are not putting your pillars in place, when the concrete dries, you can't. To put the pillars will eventually be calling for disaster when we begin to build up. So if we are talking about building the economic base of the nation, and that is the concern of the president, he's already in the second year of his first 4 years. So are we waiting till 2027 to pass the law, and then peradventure the same government did not come back? Who will get the new people will eventually call for modification, and what happens to the PIA will begin to happen. I think that so for me, the government needs to be in a hurry ensure that this foundation that they are trying to lay for the economy is laid. So for those who wouldn't understand that, I think that is their problem. However, while you are in a hurry to ensure it is done, you need to take everybody along. So taking them along is giving them a second chance to come and debate, to come and provide input into the bills before they are passed. It shouldn't be a function of grand standing. It shouldn't be a function of widespread condemnation. Any government that is not in a hurry in a nation where the economy and a lot of the system are as backward as ours, they are still powering all our base stations. They are still being run on generator and diesel, polluting the air, making life unbearable for people within the environment. Yeah. So the noise is still there from the generator. People are still paying for darkness in their homes. A lot of the roads are still not in order. 3 hours journeys are taking 6, 7, 8 hours, and people end up having travel rather than being refreshed. When you did not drive, you are tired. You have not done any work. So if we are that backward in terms of infrastructure and resources, I think that everybody need to look forward rather than waiting for their egos to be massaged.
Now, dear viewers, you've heard Ben, and very shortly we might have to just go on a break, but before then I'd like to inform you that very shortly after we get back, we would want you to begin to weigh in through your calls, and the number remains 0029938 and 365, and I hope that you are staying very focused, and I think that Ben is making your day and bringing desired enlightenment and information through this program. Stay tuned. Tell your neighbor to stay tuned also. It's very important.
My name is Sheila BCF, I'm the Black Comedian of the Federal Republic. I tell you, when it comes to the best of entertainment, the best of news, the best of information, something that is educative, you're right here at the best place to see that. It's KAFTANTV. You know what? Increase the volume. Keep watching. Don't touch the dial, okay?
This is your girl Nkechi Blessing Sunday. I want you all to keep watching KAFTANTV.
Please keep watching KAFTANTV. It is the best civil station in the country. They're doing an amazing job. Please do not touch the dial. Keep watching. Thank you.
My name is Sheila BCF, I'm the Black Comedian of the Federal Republic. I tell you, when it comes to the best of entertainment, the best of news, the best of information, something that is educative, you're right here at the best place to see that. It's KAFTANTV. You know what? Increase the volume. Keep watching. Don't touch the dial, okay?
This is your girl Nkechi Blessing Sunday. I want you all to keep watching KAFTANTV.
Please keep watching KAFTANTV. It is the best civil station in the country. They're doing an amazing job. Please do not touch the...
Hallelujah! Watch out for a glorious moment on television. It's the Heavenly Life with Pastor Sam Praise Itomo, live on KAFTAN Television, Startimes channel, 480 DTAH, 124 DTT, and NIGCOMSAT, frequency 12518, free to air. Every Sunday, 6 to 6:45 p.m. with live calls on the program. You are in for an unforgettable encounter on television. The Heavenly Life with Pastor Sam Praise Itomo. Expect the special touch of God in your life. You can call into the program on 0901 133 5329 or WhatsApp. Coming to you, courtesy of Praise City Garden Ministries International, Ministers Hill, Maitama, Abuja. It's the Heavenly Life with Pastor Sam Praise Itomo. It's the best.
Welcome back, viewers. You're still on to KAFTAN television. The Polity is the name of the program. And this afternoon we're looking at a tax reform bill which has generated so much heat in the Polity. And right now work has even been stalled. Work has been put on hold by the Senate, asking that they would rather have a committee. They set up a committee yesterday chaired by the minority leader, Senator Abba Moro, who a 10-man committee who will be interfacing with the Attorney General of the Federation. And I'm wondering why you would need that when you have the opportunity of discussing and having a public hearing where diverse capacities, diverse stakeholders would have. I mean, let's look at this together, Ben. Which would have been better at this point? Why stop this public hearing? Do you think that the public hearing is a better way of resolving? This committee that is going to interface with the Attorney General of the Federation, is it a better option to resolve this than the public hearing?
Well, this does not foreclose the public hearing, in my opinion.
No, but as much as they said that the public hearing,
for me, the public hearing is on hold.
Exactly.
Because they themselves want to get further clarification on some things, and based on the noise that has been made, we also want to sound out the executive and the chief law officer of the Federation.
Couldn't these have gone together?
I think it's okay to finish this before you go to the public hearing.
Okay.
So that you don't have to go to the public first, and then you get rejected or you get bandied, and then you are coming back to the executive. So I think that for me,
since it was generated by the executive,
for me, it's an executive bill.
Yes.
So starting your public hearing, that's the way I see it. Now it may not be so public, but starting your information gathering at this stage with the executive, who is the original owner of the bill, and who will also implement the bill, I think it's not out of order.
All right.
Well, some might see it as, well, what does that say about separation of power? Now, the fact that powers are separated does not mean that there should not be collaboration for national development.
Yeah.
We are looking at something that should be lasting, that should impact the nation, that should make positive development happen. And so for me, therefore, grandstanding or infighting between arms of government will not be at a service to the nation.
Okay. Now, so the part of the journey thus far on the discussion on this bill has been the issue of production center and then population. In terms of distribution. So that has been another very topical part of the discussion, where people also try to advocate or articulate that the population should command the higher percentage and whatever. Let's have
well, when you talk about production and we're talking about population and we're talking about sharing, different places and different environment produce different things.
Yes.
Now the fact that let's take it this way, you could have 6 children that it's 1 or 2 model pack at a go. Someone else somewhere could have 2 people that eat 4 each. There are only 2, but they will consume 8, right?
Yes.
You have 6, they will consume 12. So what? 12. Okay. So which means that whatever, if you are given 3, he is entitled to 2.
Yeah.
So it's not, so the share, what we're saying, it should not be 3 to 1.
Okay.
But 1 to 1.5, right? Should be 3 to 2, not 3 to 1, because the capacity of the 2 to consume is higher than the capacity of half of your 6 to consume. Okay. So when you look at that, therefore, you expect that if we're talking about production, let's look at where are the productions happening. And if we're talking about value-added tax, nothing says that you cannot rebag your beans or rebag your rice and process it within your state before it even goes out ad initio. Where that happens in the state, the VAT become accruable to the state for producing it. But if all you do is dig it from the ground and send it out, then the man who does the processing elsewhere should be entitled to the VAT for adding the value. If there is now a consumption tax ex factory, then that can accrue to the place of consumption. But the fact that you have a high population doesn't mean that you consume more. When a cob of corn was just as low as 50-100 naira in Abuja, when you go to Katsina, to some part of Katsina, you will realize that that one corn is not sold like that. They cut it into 5 or 6 pieces and people buy it 10 naira. So somebody in Abuja consume 2 or 3 on a seat. Some 10 people or 15 people consume 2 in that part. So the fact that the population is higher doesn't mean that they have the capacity to purchase more. But where we will have problem and where I think people should be addressing is our data integrity.
Right.
If our data gathering process is right and our data has integrity, then and our businessmen will follow process. Not that you will tell the factory in Lagos you are based in Kano and then they give you stocks and you sell them off in Niger and then it doesn't get to Kano. At which point, therefore, it becomes difficult to reconcile the data. So if our data gathering processes are right and the distributors are known and the distribution points are established, then it becomes very easy to know that out of these 10,000 that you produce, only this state consume 4.
Then we're going to take this quickly.
Okay.
And it's Mohammed is our very regular caller, very devoted caller. Mohammed, you're welcome this afternoon.
Thank you, Mr. Dayo. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And good afternoon to Mr. Ben.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Ben, can you tell me, are you from Lagos?
No, I'm from Ondo State.
That is why you are talking like that. Because you people read too much.
He said they read book too much.
You know, in Yoruba land, you go to more than any other person.
Okay now.
Anyway, that is part of it. Thank God that KAFTANTV is providing platform for everybody to air and provide observation. This is a very educated session.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, in continuation of what you are saying, in summary, what happened to this bill, this tax reform or tax bill? Honestly speaking, the mistake is from the media team of the executive. You see, Nigeria is a very complex country. If you want to do anything in Nigeria, first of all, you have to inform people and get grassroots support so that by the time you bring it, you will get massively supported. You see, our level of understanding, our level of knowledge are not the same. Look at the way Ben is talking. With this grammar you are talking, some people don't even understand what you are saying. And in Nigeria like you, during the vote, you queue up, you have only one, you have one TVC, permanent voter, only one you have. That man you are talking to, that he does not even understand, you also have the same TVC. So in democracy, we're in political era. President Tinubu has a good perception from all around Nigeria. I'm proud to say it today. That I was in Lagos when he was contesting for governor. I voted for him. President Tinubu become contesting a president. I now reflect how he was as a governor of Lagos State. I said, look, he was my governor. I would still vote for him as the president. He's the president of Nigeria today. Anything that will affect his government, for example, I will not be happy about it because why? I am one of those voted for him to become a president. So in the first place, the scenario, or the perception some people are creating, not against him, all these kind of political statements. Some of these people that are insinuating some of this are not even his own voters. They did not even voted for him in the first place. That is why in a country like Nigeria, you must sit down and observe things and look for the workable solution rather than go with theory. If you say you follow theoretical aspect of it, you cannot rule Nigeria. Nigeria is a very difficult difficult and complex country. So that is why in order to carry everybody alone, if you are a pastor in the church, you must bring income. If you are a teacher, you know what I mean by income. Carry everybody alone before you start your sermon. So it should be like that. Although whatever good policy you bring, you must have
a position one way or the other.
Okay, so in order to shorten the story, the policies can be good, but let it be form and everybody should be inclusive. Because confusion is there. Because of this national anthem of the National Assembly within few days, they change the national. If you say all of them in the national anthem should sing that new national anthem before they enter. I don't think they can get
Mohammed, let's go to the next one.
There's no need of any emergency. Anything that affects people, please carry everybody alone.
All right, let's carry everybody along. That's what Mohammed is saying. We'll need to go on to Akwa Ibom, where James is trying to connect us. Wow, what's happening? James, you're welcome.
Hello, good morning and good afternoon to the guests. Good morning, the presenter.
Maybe we should just include everything and add good evening. All right.
I am so grateful that we are talking. This is our own deliberation here on the studio. Let's talk about it so that Nigerians will be aware. I never one day think of that Nigeria will be better by having a God-sent president like this. Before the independence, we have been having several presidents that goes into the office, see the problem, and then walk by. This is the first time a man is sitting down to say, no, we cannot continue this way. Let us try this other way to see how this country can move. We are far, far back behind other African countries that we are better off. We are far, far better. We are behind. Now, if a man said, okay, we have a bigger country like this, everybody should sit tight, go to work, go and produce. I am from this state. I cannot boast of anything that we can provide apart from the God-given oil resources that we have.
Crayfish.
What can we do?
You have crayfish.
What are they doing? People are not sharing money, eating, buying properties, flying their children out. The country that they are flying out, is it not people that are putting it there? Is it not people that streamline their own laws to better the life of their own citizens? Why are we seeing the truth? You see why they will call black. The last administration said Nigerian youth are lazy. Now we are ready to work. We are ready. If we are hungry today, we will not die tomorrow.
Yes.
For the fact that country is going to be good. I was small when they said I am a future leader. I am now 30-something going to 40. The country is still like this.
You are still a future leader.
That
future has not arrived.
For my own on-board generation. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, James.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Enjoy. All right, so that's James from Akwa Ibom who just spoke to us, saying that he must commend President Ahmed Bola Tinubu's courage in trying to change the narrative. Let's take this one before we make progress with you. And this is our very strong man, SOG.
Imagine a beautiful Nigeria with KAFTANTV.
Yes, that's what we imagine daily. That's KAFTANTV. Thank you.
Yes. Good afternoon, my very wonderful host, Mr. Dayo.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ben.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to our esteemed and loyal viewers out there. S.O. Dudu calling from Crossing State.
Sure.
Let me quickly lay my voice to the topic that's upon the impasse, oneness. Yes, this is a very wonderful show, and I must commend the management of KAFTANTV for this wonderful opportunity. You are actually availing all we in Nigeria to be contributing to the development of the nation. Yes, are you there?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yes. There is no way you can separate a functional tax system and administration from economic growth.
Sure.
There is no way you can separate a workable and good
revenue from economic growth. That is why economic growth issue often stem from a complex interplay of factors, including inadequate infrastructures, poor governance, limited revenue by the government to fund development. And in Nigeria, economic growth faces significant challenges, including dependency on oil revenue, which makes the economy vulnerable to global oil price fluctuations.
Yeah.
And if you look at what happened, the recent removal of prep subsidy and the naira devaluation have actually led to inflation, reducing the purchasing power of the populace. And we see inadequate infrastructures, corruption, insecurity, and poor revenue actually on the rise. And to address this very wonderful issue, the government requires strategic planning and physical policies that will foster economic growth. And that is what this present government is doing. This present government demonstrated from the onset that he has promotion of economic growth in his agenda as a top priority. And from all intents and purposes, we need to support the government. Those actually having opposing proposition to this tax reform bill, they should come out just as Mr. Ben has posited. They should come out and tell us the present tax system we are operating. What has it contributed to the development or to the growth of the Nigerian economy or to their states? And then tell us their fears, why this bill should not see the light of the day. Then the National Assembly, what I expect them to do, they should be proactive enough. This is a bill that requires them to even go to their constituency, to meet with their constituency, begin to enlighten and educate them, hear from them, even during the public hearing of the bill. It should not just be decentralized there in Abuja. The National Assembly members should make sure they come to their constituency to have the views of their constituents.
Dudu, you are going to have to round up now.
And by the spirit of God, we will definitely see economic growth and prosperity when this bill is actually passed. Dudu calling for Crossovers.
Thank you so very much, Dudu. All the time. Thank you. Now, so let's talk about what should, in the current situation where Senate has stopped, whereas at the last time I think the House of Reps was in there was like a rowdy session and all that. All is pointing to the likelihood that it will definitely, in both houses, it will not fly. Because again, that's where somehow economics seems to be under politics, because this will now come to, it's a game of numbers. If the numbers that are opposed to it are more, of course they will have the day, and if not, then the bill will see. But from all indication right now, it looks as though the bill may not fly. So what should we be doing now? Because that's the very essence, the most important part that we need to talk about.
What should we be doing? Two things are possible. One is for the House to say, well, of course, even if the House is going to return the bill to the executive, to say go and rework it, they should point out
The particular
the
area.
gray areas where they want the reworking
To be
done.
Ben, this guy is persistent. Let's see. Hello, good afternoon. Oops, go on.
So we need to know what exactly are the modifications required. What reworking do you want done? But if the purpose is for more engagement, I think that will not be okay.
No, what
for
do you
more
mean?
engagements, if it is for the purpose of more engagements and public hearing and listening to the stakeholders, the National Assembly should be able to go forward with that. It's not too much if you say House of Rep go on a week recess, go to your constituency, the 360 constituencies, and consult, come up with a position. What are the objections or the modifications they want to the bill? Then bring it together, do the summary. The Senate can also do similar across the 109 senatorial
Please hold your
district.
thoughts, please. I think clearly that your TV set is very loud. So go on.
So you will realize that the Senate will do likewise and come up. Then we can now list. Now that's the process of lawmaking. They can amend whatever it's in the process, send it to the executive as what they think is acceptable to the nation. If the executive thinks that that is okay, then they will sign it to law. If they think it is not, then they have to do some reworking and send it back. But for those who think we should not do it as quickly as possible, I think that for me is not right. We need the law like yesterday.
No, there are people even expressing fear that if you don't do it now, it could become like the PIA that took like
more than 10 years.
Or how many years? So I think that point needs to be emphasized. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yes, I'm calling. Am I calling KAFTAN TV?
Sure, yes.
Yes. Okay, can I go ahead with my comment?
Yes, but you need to tell us your name and where you're calling from first.
My name is Ibrahim. I'm calling from Kaduna.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, one of the reasons why an average Muslim supported Muslim ticket is because of fairness and justice. You can see before the election, majority of Christians were apprehensive of Muslim ticket. But you can see now, from tons of events, it's Christians that are even benefiting.
I do not see. Well, I can't quite clearly understand why we need to religionize this, though.
We're talking about tax
what I'm
reform.
trying to say is that a Muslim ticket is trying to be fair to all, irrespective.
I do not think it's campaign time, and I do not see the relevance of this religious connotation. So, if you have a point to make, it would be fine for you to just go straight
on the tax reform
bill that we're talking about. Else,
what I'm trying to say is that the tax reform is in order, even though majority of northern and so on Muslims are not in support. But you can see the Muslim ticket that has brought that. When initially Christians were apprehensive of Muslim ticket. But now they are the beneficiaries because of fairness and justice.
I think
that's the point I want to
okay.
Likewise, the Sharia, during the Sharia, majority of Muslims wanted Sharia not because they want to Christianize Nigeria, but because they want justice. They don't want bad leadership.
No, when you keep towing that line, it seems as if there's a religion that does not promote justice, and I would not want to have that. Because the insinuation you are making is that Christianity does not. Can you rework your thoughts and get back? Now, so what were we?
Yeah, what we were saying is, rather than throw out the bill or return it to the executive, what some felt had not been done in the area of consultation should be done while the bill is in the National Assembly. The National Assembly represents the people better than the executive, and so they should even be able to do consultations with the entirety of the nation. There are 489 of them, and they represent by vote the different sectors and states of the nation.
Sylvester has been on this line. Ben, I'm sorry. Sylvester, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Yes,
Yeah,
go on.
I want to thank you for this topic. But as for me, I don't see the hurry in passing this tax reform here.
Oh, great. Go on.
The hurry is what makes people to suspect that there is a hidden agenda.
Now, when we even talk about hurry, sorry, let me ask you, Sylvester, I'm interested in this particular point now. When we say hurry, what's deliberate? I mean, what was the hurry? I mean, I don't see...
What makes it look hurried?
No stage of the law process has been skipped. You do a first reading, isn't it?
Yes.
You do a second reading, and after that, maybe if need be, you do public hearing, and then it goes to the third hearing, which is the passing stage. Now, we have not been able to get to the passing stage because all these kind of allegations are flying that is being hurried. I don't even really understand. You see, I think one thing is that we are used to having laws that sleep in the National Assembly for months, and then for really no reason. And then on this occasion, maybe there are people within the system who think that this is a masterpiece of legislation. I want to see it go through the number. I do not know how much haste this has enjoyed, but please enlighten me, Sylvester. Enlighten Nigerians.
I am happy that you are in the news media.
Right.
Before we hear about the tax bill, the next we had it in second reading. And then the next step would have been to pass it before people raise the law.
No.
So, but that is not where I'm going. Where I'm going is that if this country is well run, nobody is afraid of paying taxes. But the burden people are carrying today make people to be jittery. Look at the VAT, look at every other thing that comes with this tax reform.
No, Sylvester.
And look at the minimum wage. So people are jittery. People are not saying, upon what we are carrying, you want to add more. So that is the situation. The ordinary people have not been properly sensitized. Like I said the other time, what is the duty of National Orientation Agency? It should educate Nigerians. The National Assembly is there, yes, we have our representatives there. But they have a specific job to do. The executive who is in control of the National Orientation Agency should disseminate this information around. Now people will know what is being done for them. If it is good, they will analyze it their own proper perspective and then come up with their own position.
I think you have a good point there.
What I'm trying to say, sir, is that it's because of the level of insincerity in government, in governance, that makes people to suspect everything this government is doing. So that is the property, and that is the situation I see.
Thank you. Emailer Sylvester. We will need to leave it there. Thanks. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, so apart from the insincerity of government, because to be honest, I do think that between the government and the governed, there's a whole deficit of trust. Exactly. There's no doubt about it. But apart from that, another very troubling issue is ignorance.
Sure.
Because, for example, when he just said that Nigerians are jittery, I see that as a lack of understanding of this tax bill, because this tax bill is one that really seeks to protect the poor.
Yeah.
In several of the provisions, I mean, saying that even when you pay VAT, even when it is, it is increased, the commodities enjoyed by the poor will be taxed less. I mean, the impact will be less. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
You're welcome.
I'm Usman Garba Sansaki, calling from Yola, Adamawa State.
Hi, sir. Yola today.
Yola is fine, my brother.
Is it very hot, very cold?
Very cold, we're in a good period. Around February we start the heat.
Oh, okay. So you are enjoying now. I hope you are well kitted. You are in your suit. Oh, Babariga.
Where is my brother Mukoli?
Oh, he's doing great. He's doing great.
Oh, okay, sir.
Yeah.
Excuse me, the impasse of this tax reform in the National Assembly. I don't think that, what is happening is that there is something hidden. If not, there are so many things that has National Assembly, but it takes a lot of time before it goes into passage. So, in as what as there is something the government wanted to surcharge the other part of the country. Subsequently, they wanted to use the National Assembly to fasten the passage of this bill. Honestly speaking, let me be frank with you and open to you. Going through the nitty-gritty of this bill, the northern part of this country is going to be surcharged. Honestly speaking, I've gone through it and I've seen certain areas where the northern part will be surcharged. It is because of that they wanted to do on the ground by trying to pass this bill. I work with the National Assembly and I know the inner workings of how these are for the big process. But before the first reading, second reading, how could you bring a bill that touches the life of so many people and you want to hide under the garbage of or the gap of because the other people maybe they are infallible because of the thinking that people are not aware that you want to use some people behind to pass the bill. If this bill is actually meant for Nigeria and for Nigerians, this thing needs to go through proper procedure that is obtainable in the National Assembly or State Assembly. But how could you bring a bill? You say first reading, second reading.
All right, Ibrahim.
Maybe you wanted to play hacky-packy.
Ibrahim, thank you.
That's why what makes a Fabio not to be on seat that day?
Ibrahim.
What makes a Fabio not to be on that seat?
Ibrahim, thank you so much for calling in. Usman, Santuraki, right? All right, now, thank you. Just listen, stay off the line and listen. Or watch. Now, this is part of, and to be honest, I do want to think that the committee, the Oyedele committee, did little or no public enlightenment. And I think this is part of why this is suffering so much. It's not even the National Orientation Agency as such in this matter. That committee that is saddled with this job should have gone to town and use town hall meetings, use all kinds of avenues. Radio is very effective in this matter. TV is very effective in this matter. You should have done this work ahead rather than now having to face this kind of stiff opposition, and then now may still have to do that enlightenment now. Because for me, there's too much, the level of ignorance, the level of misunderstanding, as exemplified by what even
the informed callers.
What did he say just now? Usman, is it Usman? What he said, I mean, it's huge, which means we really need information, we really need enlightenment, and that is lacking.
Well, what I would take is this. The committee was set up by the president to come up with a proposal. At the proposal stage, I think doing doing town hall meetings and the rest will be unnecessarily expensive. In my opinion, the committee has come up with a draft paper to say this is how we think we should go. The president has put it to National Assembly. Let's have a law around this. The National Assembly represents the people. The process of law passage permits for public hearing. So whatever gap you think was there in the conception should be provided for and closed at the stage of public hearing. And whatever you think is not workable there, then do what? Adjust it. Now, there is always that issue of, because I know I don't have
points to raise, I become brutal in the fight. And then we go to fisticuffs. No, let everybody bring their points, their strong points.
Articulate their strong points. Yes.
Articulate it. Let's
convince the other party
workable. And for those who keep insisting with the already, there is nothing about haste. If they want to be in haste, then it shouldn't have come as a bill proposal. perhaps it
would
would
have
have
been
come as
as
an executive order.
All right.
If the president was in a hurry, it would have been an executive order.
And
So asking for bill-
come to think of it, I think that I have an issue with saying, because this thing has been done this way and it has been done wrongly, so we should persist in doing things in that wrong way because it suits we have become used to it, because it has now become like a norm. No, even if certain bills have taken long, is that what we should advocate? Is that what we should promote? Are we giving pass mark to those delays? So there's a whole lot, but basically I really begin to think that a lot more public enlightenment needs to be done on this job, because the level of misunderstanding, I mean, somebody is still talking about that people are being targeted, a section is being targeted or something. I think that is something to really worry about, and that something quickly and well arranged should be done about, and that's awareness creation, public enlightenment, and government must really sit back and take a look at this, especially now that the Senate has stopped work on it. We'll get back after this break.
While wrapping up the day, unwind with the reminiscence of the day's news from home and abroad with KAFTANTV 7 p.m. news.
Good to have you join us on KAFTAN News at 7.
Nigerians are living in up to 5%. Are young people. We propose the Harmony Symphony.
It's good to have you join us on KAFTANTV News at 7.
We found that the turnaround has been sufficient.
National, foreign news headlines. Get balanced, accurate facts on the latest news in business, politics, entertainment, sports, and more. Live from our studios.
Many thanks for watching. Join us again at 9 p.m.
KAFTANTV News.
In the beginning, God created a beautiful world.
3, 2, 1. Action.
And that's why, at KAFTAN Television,
We imagine a beautiful world.
We are not just bragging.
We blaze the trail in broadcasting. And it is about you.
At KAFTAN TV, broadcasting is not just about information, education, and entertainment.
It's an aggregation of all you need to know in Nigeria
and around the world to create signal.
At KAFTAN Television, we have all it takes to be on top in broadcasting.
Our mission is simple: to project Africa in a truthful yet positive manner.
Wait, we're coming to you in style.
Here we are, starting from September.
Look at what the facts are.
And as we say on KAFTAN TV, imagine a beautiful world.
In the beginning, God created a beautiful world.
3, 2, 1. Action.
And that's why, at KAFTAN Television,
We imagine a beautiful world.
we are not just bragging.
We blaze the trail in broadcasting. And it is about you.
At KAFTANTV, broadcasting is not just about information, education, and entertainment.
It's an aggregation of all you need to know in Nigeria
and around the world to create signal.
At KAFTAN Television, we have all it takes to be on top in broadcasting.
Our mission is simple: to project Africa in a truthful yet positive manner.
Wait, we're coming to you in style.
Here we are, starting from September.
Take a look at what the facts are.
And as you say on KAFTAN TV, imagine a beautiful world.
My name is Sheila BCFR, the Black Comedian of the Federal Republic. I tell you, when it comes to the best of entertainment, the best of news, the best of information, something that is educative, you're right here at the best place to see that. It's KAFTANTV. You know what? Increase the volume. Keep watching. Don't touch the dial, okay?
It's your girl Nkechi Blessing Sunday. I want you all to keep watching KAFTANTV.
Please keep watching KAFTANTV. It is the best TV station in the country. They're doing an amazing job. Please do not touch the dial. Keep watching. Thank you.
My name is Sheila BCFR, the Black Comedian of the Federal Republic. I tell you, when it comes to the best of entertainment, the best of news, the best of information, something that is educative, you're right here at the best place to see that. It's KAFTANTV. You know what? Increase the volume. Keep watching. Don't touch the dial, okay?
It's your girl Nkechi Blessing Sunday. I want you all to keep watching KAFTANTV.
Please keep watching KAFTANTV. It is the best TV station in the country. They're doing an amazing job. Please do not touch the dial. Keep watching. Thank you.
My name is Sheila.
Hallelujah! Watch out for a glorious moment on television. It's the Heavenly Life with Pastor Sam Praise Itomo, live on KAFTAN Television, Startimes channel, 480 DTAH, 124 DTT, and NIGCOMSAT, frequency 12518, free to air. Every Sunday, 6 to 6:45 p.m. with live calls on the program. You are in for an unforgettable encounter on television. The Heavenly Life with Pastor Sam Praise Itomo. Expect a special touch of God in your life. You can call into the program on 0901 133 5329 or WhatsApp. Coming to you, courtesy of Prince City Garden Ministries International, Ministers Hill, Maitama, Abuja. It's the Heavenly Life with Pastor Sam Praise Itomo. It's the
Welcome back, dear viewers. We're still on the Polity, coming to you live from the Abuja studio of KAFTAN Television. Abuja and Abuja. I hope they still sound a little bit close. Please permit that. Now, quickly, we're still on the topic, the tax reform bill Impasse. What next? I think that one of the challenges we're having right now is that we have a congregation mentality. and that which could also be interpreted as a sheep mentality. So whatever some shepherds, wherever they direct us to, we just follow. But if we must turn this country around, we must take responsibility in our different spheres of influence to engage the issues directly. Because as it is, most Nigerians have become repeater stations for some major voices. What am I saying by that? Many of us have not engaged with the bill. We have not studied the proposed bill. We have not read it ourselves. We have not tried to make meaning of it ourselves. We follow what one person who is a leader has said, forgetting that that leader may have some political interest, some vested interest, some interest to just ensure that, I mean, that we have seen in this country, even things that are very important for the ordinary Nigerian people, sometimes in the legislature, want their egos massaged and want some other things sometimes we have seen. And so if we want to follow that way, we might not get it right. You're welcome to this show. What's your name and where are you calling from? It's gone. We lost that. So this is what I think is part of our problem. Yeah. So if one major voice says a thing, we don't do our own check. We just say, oh, this person has said so, so, I mean, it must be right. Now, let's see again. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon, yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Hello? I don't think you forget to that.
Sorry?
Hello? Yeah, from the other state.
Okay, go on, please.
Hello? Yeah, well, maybe say it inside the...
Oh.
Hello?
There's a problem. I think there's a problem. All right, so the number remains 08029938365, but we need to listen to Ben, yeah?
Yeah, the concept that some people believe they are opinion leaders who are infallible, I think is absolutely wrong. Everybody is infallible at one point or the other, and your decision or your position will be enhanced or denigrated by your understanding and information available at your disposal. So when people who have not read the bill take position and some people queue behind them, I think it calls for some major...
I who have read it but did not even still understand it, because sometimes some of these things require some technical competence.
Yeah. So for me, like I would say, we need to continue the process. Both the National Assembly public hearing solution must be more engaging. You need the committees, especially those in maybe industry, labor and some other ones, to engage with their stakeholders. Of course, all members should go back to the grassroots and discuss in their constituency. Come up with the position from your constituency. Let's adjust this bill and make it workable. For those who think that there is no need for hurry, I disagree. We are not where we should be. We have revenue challenges from state to federal. And so if that becomes the case, then anything that tends to address part of our revenue leakages, I think should be taken as urgent and as important.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, you're welcome.
My name is Abdul.
Go on, please. You're calling from Abuja, is it?
No, I'm calling from Makurdi.
Makurdi, okay, go on. Yeah.
You see, the problem with us is our leaders and we followers that are ignorant, both from the north and from the south. The leaders in the north are afraid of the sharing formula, and they said it to us that our earnings will be reduced. Then the commoners will be cheated, items will be charged when exorbitantly when the VAT tax is raised. While in the south, we have bad journalists who don't know what journalism is. They are giving an example of some states that contributed 620 and received 1.5 elect them that they carry to their constituency. So that is the problem of that.
All right, thank you very much. I think this last point you made is the kind of the herd mentality that we're talking about. Many of these legislatures are also under pressure that if they do not queue behind a particular stand, they may not have opportunity of coming back. Should we take? Let's take this and then we'll revert to you, Sophia. Careful. Safiano.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, dude.
Alafia, hello.
Kefi, Lafia?
Kefi is fine.
Great. Okay, go on.
I'm welcoming the guests in the studio.
Right. Good afternoon.
About this bill we are talking about for the past week, to me, where the problem came from, is from the government. Do you know why I say so?
Go ahead, tell us.
The poor man in Nigeria today, he has no any trust in the government. Because there are so many laws that are being implemented that the poor have to breathe. That will bring enjoyment for the poor. Up to today, nothing has done.
I agree.
That is why any law that government will bring, nobody will trust government again. Because they have failed and failed and failed. I believe about this bill, there are some people that understand the bill, but they have not trust on government. That is why I will not agree with that. That is my take.
Thank you, Sophia. All right, but no doubt the trust issues are real.
There is the trust deficit.
Yes.
But of course, we need to also know this. Like I keep insisting, the way forward is not backward. So we have to start from where we are to build where we want to be
and be intentional
about what we are doing. I think that's very, very important. So clearly, the trust is deficit. And then when we also come to policy deployment, I think those talking about National Orientation Agency will come in at policy deployment, at which point the law has been passed. The National Orientation Agency has the responsibility of going around all the wards. In my opinion, the 8,018 or whatever number of electoral wards we have, go down to people at the ward level to explain to them what the law implies, and you even realize that may end up helping to even drive production, because when people understand that if we harvest the cassava and we don't sell it raw and we are able to process and bag it, this is what difference it may attract to the environment as a producing outlet. I'm sure that will increase production. And across the nation, there are production activities in the past that are stopped. There used to be cocoa industries in Indo, there used to be ceramic, there used to be shoe factory in Borno State. Where are those companies gone into? It is time for the government to bring them back online. Put more people on the job, get more taxes from the company, get more taxes from the payee that will be qualified to pay tax, and then you will realize that you can plan going forward. It is easier to plan with your internally generated revenue that is almost defined. You know what minimum you can be, than to be planning with the fluctuating international oil market and what comes from the Federal Account Allocation Committee.
I really do think that for me, whichever way you look at it, I think that this reform bill should really be a wake-up call to even some of the federating units who feel that maybe they have shortchanged. Well, in the first instance, that's not correct.
Sure.
But even if they feel that way, it should be a wake-up call to say, okay, if that is what it is, we also will begin to pull up our bootstraps and do a lot more work and generate revenue, so that, like you have said, it's even far better. You have the possibility, you'll definitely get company income tax, your employment will be improved, security is tied to unemployment for sure. It will be improved. Now, several other things, the standard of living will improve, because now you have a lot more money moving around the same space, and so there's a whole lot more. And I think that these are the areas that these federating units should spend their energy on. And whatever now comes from the largesse, quote unquote, the federal largesse, whether it's here or there, you will have a steady income that, like Ben said, you can plan with, you can work with, and then you can call the bluff of any other person. I think that's where we should go, really. I think that's where we should go. And as we begin to count down, because we have barely 2 minutes or so, or 3, we really want to emphasize what next. And Ben, in this few 2 minutes, I think we'll leave it to you. Even if we have a caller, we're not taking any calls. In these 2-3 minutes, please articulate what exactly should be next now.
No, definitely the way forward is to engage. They are past the second reading, for instance. Let them go into the committee or the public hearing stage, and let every member go back to their constituency and get a definite position from their people that says, we accept this, we do not accept this. And where you are not accepting, you make an alternative provision. This one that we reject, this is how we think it should be, and then we can have an aggregate of opinions back to the National Assembly, and then the law can be properly built and we can begin to put it to use.
Let me quickly, you will continue, but this idea of let the legislators go back to their people, many times those legislators are their people. I don't know whether you understand that. Those legislators are their people, because they are the conscience, they are the articulators of
them. They should speak on behalf of their people. This is what we don't want. Okay. This is the replacement we want for it. So that at the point of debate, it's not a blanket statement. No, this clause goes this way. My constituency will prefer it this, and then others will speak, and jointly in the committee of the whole, the clause can then be amended and voted whether they are passing it or not. But the reality is that throwing out the bill is setting the nation further backward. The government revenue that you are so sure of at all time will be the tax, and so you don't leave your foundational elements to pursue roofing. When you roof a building where the foundation is not strong, then you are sure that at some point that building will come down. And of course, in the areas of data gathering, in the areas of monitoring trade and commerce, the parameters and the institutions that will ensure that the records are straight are very important. And those who want us to live by population, I do not want anything actually at the moment, because the last population census we have was 2006 or thereabouts. Yes. So it's more than 18 years. A record, children that were born there, some of them are now having 2-3 children of their own. Yeah. So to a large extent, whatever figure was available at the time, it's not too accurate for proper planning. Yeah. So I think we should even look for other means of distribution for now until we do another thing.
If you add to that the fact that the integrity of our population figures has always been questionable also. So I think that I mean, I don't know why the census issue has become what's it now, a nightmare. No, there's the word I'm looking for. A mirage. And I don't really know why. And I do hope that under the Tinubu administration there will come a time when a proper census will be held. I do want to believe that he will take that somehow personal, because it's unfortunate that a country as big as this will have such kind of issues. And now, as we begin to go now, I just want to begin to say my thank yous. I do hope that we have made some sense, and I do hope that my callers have made some sense. In the midst of, on the whole, I think that some sense would have come out of our discussion this afternoon. Thank you so very much, Mr. Ben.
Thank you very much for having me.
Every single time I have you, I feel very elated. And I want to thank the production team. Thank you, every one of you. Well done, Bright. Well done. Is it Awole or Divine or Emmanuel? Whoever. Thank you so much. And Pamilari, big up. And then I want to say thank you to the producer of the program. I want to say thank you to all Nigerians who have been watching, who have been supportive. What very kind words you say about KAFTAN TV all the time. Please keep it up. Thank you. And my name remains Dayo Omoogun. I'll see you again next week. But stay tuned to KAFTAN TV even tomorrow for this same program that will be brought to you by Macaulay, and you can be sure that even greater quality will come your way, greater depth. And so stay tuned on KAFTAN TV even as Dayo and Ben say bye.